Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Aprina Mutmainah. Today I will explain about narrative text and recount text. With subject academic reading, and the lecturer Mr. MR Bain MPD. Narrative text is part of genre. Narrative is the text which tells something. On the other words, narrative is created by someone for telling the story. It is including in the fiction story. The purpose of this text is to amuse or to entertain the readers and the listener. Narrative texts also have the generic structure same as the other kinds of text. Generic structure: first is orientation, second is complication, and last is resolution. Orientation. In this part, it will introduce the characters in the story. It can be named, placed. It is usually occur in the first paragraph. Complication. It is increasing the problem. It can call climax of the story when the crisis is rising up. Resolution. It is time to solve the problem. It usually called anticlimax. It means that the problem can be solved, even bad or good ending. For example, we will read the example of narrative. Orientation. Snow White. Once upon a time, there lived a little girl named Snow White. She lived with her aunt and uncle because her parents were dead. Ini bisa kita sebut dengan orientasi atau pembukaan awal biasanya. Terus complication. One day, she heard her uncle and aunt talking about leaving Snow White in the castle because they both wanted to go to America and they didn't have enough money to take Snow White. Snow White didn't want her uncle and aunt to do this, so she decided it would be best if she ran away. The next morning, she ran away from home. When her aunt and uncle were having breakfast, she ran away into the woods. Then she saw a little cottage. She knocked, but no one answered, so she went inside and fell asleep. Meanwhile, the 7 dwarfs were coming home from work. They went inside. There they found Snow White sleeping. Then Snow White woke up. She saw the dwarfs. The dwarf said, "What's your name?" Snow White said, "My name is Snow White." It's complication. She ran away into the woods. Then she saw ini bagian complication. Terus resolutionnya. One of the dwarfs said, "If you wish, you may live here with us." Snow White said, "Oh, good. Could I? Thank you." Then Snow White told the dwarfs the whole story, and Snow White and 7 dwarfs lived happily ever after. Ini resolusinya. Okay, let's move to recount text. Recount text. Apa sih itu recount text, or what is recount text? Recount text is a text used to retell the past experience. When we talk or write about the past event, we are giving a recount. Recount is used to write our daily experience. We use recount in diary book, letter or email, biography, history, and many more. Purpose. The purpose or social function is to inform or entertain the reader. Generic structure of recount text. There are also 3 parts of a recount text. Pertama ada orientasi, kemudian events, and last reorientation. Orientation explains setting, when or where, and the participants or character or who happening in the passage at the beginning. Events explain a series of happening in temporal sequence from the beginning until the end. Reorientation describes what happens in the end of the story or conclusion of the story. Okay, let's move. Let's continue. Language features. Recounts usually include the following grammatical features. First, descriptive words to give details about who, what, when, where, and how. Second, the use of the past tense to retell the events. And third, words that show the order, conjunction of the events, for example, first, next, then, finally, after that sequence. Time connectors to show orders like sequence, after, before, as, until. You can see here the example. Past time use, like yesterday, the day before yesterday, just now, last night, last Sunday, 2 days ago, 3 days ago, 1 year ago, and many more.
Aprina, duit kenapa plus ya?
Oh wait. For example, going to a bookstore orientation. Last week, I went to a bookstore with my brother. We want to buy some books and comics. We went there by a motorcycle. First, we left home at 4 p.m. The traffic to the bookstore was not crowded. The bookstore wasn't so far from our house. After 25 minutes, we arrived at the bookstore. Nah, ini eventsnya. There were many people at the bookstore. I saw there were some people choosing kinds of books, magazines, comics, and each. There were many kinds of books at the bookstore. They were arranged on bookshelves. Some people read in front of the shops. We chose some books and comics we need and went to cashier. After that, we went to a restaurant for a having meal. I ordered meatballs and a soft drink. My brother ordered bread noodle and a soft drink too. Orientation. Finally, we went home in the evening. We arrived home at 7:15 p.m. We left very tired, but we were happy. Itu contoh dari recount text tadi. That's example from recount text. Sorry. Answer the question based on the passage. This is your turn. Should we answer it together? Where did the writer go? Bookstore. Where was the bookstore located? Mana ya lokasinya? Ini ada tadi. Ini tulisannya tidak terlalu jauh doang sih tadi aku bacanya. 25 minutes from home. From writer home. When did the writer leave his house? 4 p.m. What was the book looked by the reader? Tadi ada magazine apa? Comics dan some books. Were there many interesting books in the bookstore? Yeah, itu pokoknya. I hope it's gonna helpful for you all. Thank you so much. Goodbye.